Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's session on identity, access, and security, enabling governance in a digital era. As you all know, governance is absolutely a strong foundation in identity, access, and security. We will explore this topic with the essential aspects of managing and safeguarding identities, controlling access to resources in an organization, and implementing robust security measures to protect organizations in a dynamic digital landscape. Join us today as we deep dive into key considerations and strategies on identity access management through this session. So I'm Amruta and I'm from Skillmine Technology Consulting. And today we have a special guest with us, that is Mr. Vimal Prakash, who is an Associate Vice President with Skillmine Technology in the IT functions. He is also a recipient of the recent CEO's Excellence Award, and he is also a software expert who will guide us through understanding the identity access management today. He has an extensive knowledge in diverse program languages, and he is also having database and cloud technology experience. Yeah. Vimal ensures that industry best practices are always followed and optimal software coding standards are maintained. He also guides a dynamic team of developers and designers at Skillmine. We are thrilled to have him as a part of our session today, and I would like to extend warm welcome to him. Welcome, Vimal.
Thank you, Amruta. Thanks for the nice introduction.
Yeah, sure. So let's start on the topic. If it would be great if first we discussed about the on a brief of what exactly identity access management is. So if you can give them if you can give the audience a high level introduction to this topic, it would enlighten us ahead.
Yep, sure. So see, IDAM stands for Identity Access and Management, right? So it refers to the framework, right? A framework of like policies, technologies, and the process that organization uses to manage and control their like access to their like any resources, right? So, and also it ensures like their users have a correct or like a what is that, like privileged access based on their roles and responsibility. Okay. So the main objective of IDAM is, right? See, it establishes and manages the digital identity of the individual as well as their entities, meaning entities in the organization. Like entities includes their employees, their partners, their customers, their end users, right? The guest users, everybody are like a digital entity for their organization, right? So it includes like their authentication, authorization, and giving a privileged access to variety of like across various system and applications. Yeah. So if you take example, see, if you take a Skillmine as example, right? Skillmine, an employee coming to the Skillmine office. Let's take this as an example. Okay.
Right.
So at the beginning, meaning when employee enter into the building, we'll have a security, right?
Correct.
He's checking meaning first question he will ask, who are you? Right?
Yes.
Employee is saying, yeah, okay, I'm so and so, and I'm working in a Skillmine, right? And then employee will ask, okay, show me other proof. Like he's asking like, okay, so show me your ID card, right? And his employee showing ID card and he's coming in. So this is authentication to ensure the like whether this user is a real user, and then he have access to the certain promise, right? In this case, the employee have access to the office promise, right? Yeah. Once comes into the office, right? Inside there are many cabins, right? So
Yes.
I can't go and sit and manage a cabin.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So there is a check and balance, right? So there is a roles, there is a protocol defined already who can sit where, right? As a developer, I can go and sit in my cabin, right? And my place, right? within my cabin, maybe I can navigate to some place and I can set it. But I can go and sit in HR room. I can go and sit in manager room. So this is called authorization, right? So as an IDAM solution, right, we have a control for this. So as an organization, you just need to specify this is ensure the security for us, and rest all things we will take care for it. Yeah.
Got that. Got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. This live example actually helped me also to get into the idea that what exactly identity access management is. So it was like a very small example, but it explained a lot. So what are the key components of identity access management? Like if you can explain.
Okay. So the key components, right? There are many components, but I'll take only the like important items, like lifecycle management, right? And then authentication and authorization and single sign-on, and then PAM, which is like a privileged access control, access management, and then federation, and then auditing and compliance. So we'll see each point like a small example. See, identity lifecycle management, right? It covers like how you are onboarding user, how you are managing them, okay, and how you are giving them these self-service items. For example, you should be able to do a password reset, right? And you should be able to set up his own MFAs and other things. Right? This comes under identity lifecycle management. And then authentication, as I told you earlier. So employee coming into the office, the security gate, they will ask, okay, who are you? And the employee is saying, okay, I'm Vimal Prakash and I'm working in Skillmine. But nobody accepts that, right? The employee security will ask extra, okay, show me a proof. The employee is showing ID card, which is nothing but like, it's like a kind of MFA, which is like multi-factor. So security is taking that card and giving it in some scanning system and it accepts, then he is letting in the employee. Right, this is authentication part. So which means the authentication is not limited to one identity. For example, I'm giving just a username and password. It is extended to various possibilities. See, for example, I can do like a passwordless login. I can do like a face verification. I can do like a voice verification. I can do SMS, email, TOTP, and then mobile-based authentications. This is endless, meaning how you are authenticating user is endless, and it is specific to that particular organization, right? Yeah. And then authorization, as I told you, the authorization ensures like who can do what, right? So authentication says who is allowed to this, meaning whether he's a valid user or not, but authorization checks who can do what, right? So as a IDAM, right, we'll provide like a fine-grained control for your groups, roles, permissions, right? So that you can specify, okay, my organization, I have this structure. For example, I have a HR, I have accounting, I have a developer section, I have a management section. These become a groups in our side, and inside that, what he can do will become a roles. Right. So in the developer, I may be like a senior developer, I may be a team lead, I may be something else. So what he can do with that, the string, what, for example, I'm saying developer, the string, what it can do is up to the permission. So for example, he can commit the code, he can guide the developers, other developers, right? He can interact with other developers, right? These all like permission list added to the developer role. Similarly, in the HR section, whether they can, whether she or he can hire an employee or fire an employee, whether she can negotiate employee with for a salary and other things, right? So each department have its own hierarchy and its own role, and each role have its own permission. So as an IDAM solution, right, we should be able to give a dynamic way of auditing this, because there is no fixed role, fixed permissions, right? It always varies. It depends on the business. It depends on the use cases, right? So as IDAM, we support that. And then privileged access control, privileged access management is like slightly varies from the authorization. See, for example, if you want to define, I need to have a this machine access for only 1 hour, right? So I need to control with the session. So I need to strictly monitor the session. After 1 hour, I should cut off your access, right? And also it deals with a very sensitive applications, very sensitive data, right? So that covered by this privileged access management, and then single sign-on. So let's assume I told you one example, like employee is going into the building and is seeing in the various cabins, right? Let's assume same company have a various department in various buildings, right? So our constraint is before you enter into the building, you need to verify yourself.
Correct.
So as an employee, you think it of, like suppose you want to get a sign from like 2-3 departments. If you go into each building and each building security will ask who are you, right? In that case, what you do, like you have to say, okay, I'm so and so, I'm working on this company, and this is my role, and this is my ID card. Let me in. So if you do it for like a 10 building, then you will be tired, right? So instead, what if the first building, when you enter, security give you pass.
Correct.
Okay.
Give a pass.
With that pass, you can navigate to any building inside the campus.
Yes.
Right? That saves a lot of time, right?
Correct.
Because you don't need to repeat your identity to each building security, but I'm so and so, and let me in, right? So it saves a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like single point of access. So which means
single point of
you gain access once, right? You log in once, and you gain access for multiple resources without entering your credentials.
Yes.
Right. So as I told you, like the credentials, right? It's not only the username and password. It may goes to the MFA. It may goes to the various steps, right? So it saves lots of time, and it improves the user experience, right?
Correct. Yes, it does.
And the next key component of IDAM is the federation.
Okay.
The same example, if you extend to now I said there's like one campus, one company, right? Let's assume you need to navigate to the nearest campus, which is the other company, right? So in that case, also, let's assume like you are logging in with your own company ID card to the other company. That is cool, right? Meaning you don't need to enter, meaning you don't need to create separate identity for the another building. You are entering with your own company's ID card and thing, and you are entering the other business. So which means there is a communication between your business, meaning your company, and the other company. Let's assume you are visiting passport office, right? They are letting you in without any special credential, but just seeing your Skillmine identity card, right? So which means Skillmine and the passport office, or like I'm just saying passport office as an example, any company, they have already a contract, but trust our employee if he comes with this identity. Okay, this is called federation, which means two different systems communicate each other without entering or without creating separate identity is called federation. Okay, so it enables, like for example, your partner comes into your business, so you are allowing your partner to communicate with your system and the partner system with a single identity.
Okay.
Right? How cool it is! Like the partner don't need to maintain like separate username and password, right? They can use their own password or our own password. Yeah. Right. And then any system auditing is required, right? And they need to fall under some compliance. So with our system, right? So with SSO in mind, so before SSO, what user will do is, let's assume if company uses like a 15 application, right? User need to remember 15 username and password, literally.
Correct.
Okay. So which means there is a 15 times he may call you to help, right? As the IT administrator, you will receive a call 15 times from one user, possibly, right? Reset my password, or I'm not able to log in, right? So the SSO solves that issue, which means it brings to one single identity, which means like the at max support will get only one call. They're also covered by our self-service, so they won't get a call. So it reduces a lot of cost also, right? In that case, this come under one system. The auditing is very easy. We know exactly what you are doing in different systems, right? Since you are logging in with us, and we are controlling your roles and responsibilities, like what you're doing, roles and permissions, I mean. So we know exactly what you're doing it. And that helps to maintain the compliance. So this includes generating various reports, various kind of charts and other things, right? If needed, we can restrict their access, right? So these are the key components of IDAM solutions.
Oh, wow. That was extensive, and also it did highlight the benefits that organizations would get by implementing IDAM in their systems. So it also gave an explanation how single sign-on authorization makes life easier, and it's all at the point of a single access. So it also controls security, and it does not increase double work for anyone, whether it's someone visiting your organization or someone in the organization utilizing the systems.
Yep.
Yeah, that is the best part about like having a single point of access. Okay, so now we have understood the entire concept. We've seen the key components. We've also seen how it benefits the companies when they implement this in their regular system. It also helps in managing the compliance, as you highlighted just now. And if you know, compliance is a very important aspect in any organization to maintain it. So just wanted to know one more thing, like how does IDM and in Skillmine we have a product which goes by the name Authenticator. So does this also like handle authentication and authorization processes just the way you explained right now?
Yep. So whatever I'm explaining now, it's all implemented in Skillmine Auth.
Wow. So basically, Skillmine Auth has also captured these points for helping organizations enable IDAM in their systems.
Yeah. So we have a lot of like SDKs and documentations, right? So that will help them to easily integrate with the system with like 2-3 lines of code. Their legacy system will convert it to the modern system. So
wow. So it's all very integrated.
Yeah.
Yes, good. That's fascinating. So, Vimal, can you please highlight the benefits of identity access management, please?
Yeah, sure. So, by like seeing the above things, right? Right.
Yeah.
So, I told you like the single sign-on, right?
Yes, about single.
Right. So that brings in like number of applications. Let's assume the organization is 15. I told you earlier also 15 applications as example. So user no need to remember the 15 applications, username and password, right? They just need to remember only one, and that also controlled with various factors. See, for example, there is no password required at all, right? They can log in with their face, they log in with their voice, they log in with their simple OTP, right? Or they log in with TOTP. So what this brings into the organization is enhanced security first of all.
Correct.
Right? So which means I can control all other application, all 15 application from one place. Right? Whether suppose I want to give a control or revoke a control, I just need to do it once. I don't need to do it in 10 times. Hope all system administrator knows what I'm talking. The pain of provisioning and deprovisioning users. Right? Yeah. And then regulatory compliance. Suppose if you have like a 15 system and tomorrow you have one more system adding in your place, you need to make sure the same compliance, right? The same thing what you did 10 times, you need to do it one more time, right? So with this IDAM solution, it brings it to the common place, right? And also the regulatories are easy because the IDAM uses existing protocols, like well-defined protocols like WAUth2, OpenID Connect, XAML, LDAP, which means it's all pre-tested. If somebody says I'm supporting OpenID Connect, then it's already come under that compliance. So it's very easy for a company to maintain that compliance and regulatory steps. So also it increases the operational efficiency. Obviously, yes, right? See, if system administrator gets like call for like a 10 times from one user, reset my password, right? Our system administrator can do like, meaning he is doing normally 10 times reset. He is doing only one time at max. So meaning with IDAM, right, we have automated solution for that. So you won't get a call at all. So which means it increases the operational efficiency, and also it improves the user experience. As I told you, right? So you are navigating between the buildings, and if every time I ask you who are you, then you'll get bored.
Yeah, of course. It bothers the guests also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you notice, like navigation between Gmail and G Drive, right? It's very smooth. Like, even though it's a different system, they have a like SSO enabled, so it gives you like very good user experience, right? And then centralized identity management. As I told you, like from one place, I can control the entire user journey, right? For example, you have a special system, right? That needs extra authentication. Say, for example, you have a bank application, right? That needs MFA always. Then you can specify that. Some other components, so some other business or some other program, you don't need that much security. You can cut off one step, or you can add more steps. Okay.
Got it. Yes.
And then scalability and performance. Scalability and performance and flexibility.
Yes.
Right. Scalability means, as I told you, like before it is distributed to 10 different systems. Now it all comes to one system, which means we need to take care of the scalability and performance, right? So IDAM is capable of doing that. And also it prevents the mitigation from the insider threat. See, for example, we don't need to worry about inside employee do something, right? Because it's already controlled with authentication, authorization, and PAM. And we have a very good auditing system, which means anybody doing something in our system, it's all recorded. We know what is going on and we know who did it.
Yes.
Right? So these are the benefits as an organization you are gaining, and it reduces a lot of cost what you're spending on these items, and it helps you to maintain everything in one place, and it will give you the very good auditing.
Okay, that explained a lot of benefits that organizations could have, and also highlighted compliance and auditing measures that will really help organizations in their daily tasks.
Yeah.
Yes. So let us discuss more on single sign-on and what are the benefits for implementing SSO in the IDAM solution.
Yes. So I think we in the past questions, right, we talked about single sign-on more.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you more. So with the single sign-on, right, so first of all, it increases the user experience, right? So as a user, right, I don't need to enter like my passwords or credentials again and again. So, and also it improves the security, because we don't need to, as a development wise, right, we don't need to focus on 10 different items. It's just one, right? So that we can give a enhanced security. And again, the centralized access, like it improves a lot of, it improves productivity basically, right? So simple one, you are navigating to the other system or like other software seamlessly, right? And then overall it reduces the cost.
Yes.
Yeah, and obviously better auditing and compliance reports.
Great. Moving from this, we will delve into how IDAM solutions handle authentication and authorization processes. If you could let our viewers know how IDAM accomplishes this.
Sure. So, we talked about authentication, authorization, right? Let's discuss first authentication.
Yeah.
So what is authentication? So as an organization or as a system, I need to know whether this user is allowed inside this organization, Like before, I gave you example like employee coming into the office, right, with ID card with his name and company name, right? So that
Correct.
is authentication process. See, the steps involved in this. So first we'll see the authentication steps. The first one is user identification. Uh, to like in order to let you in, right? First you need to say who you are, right? So how the IDAM system comes to know whether this user is further allowed or not is by validating their credentials. The credentials are meaning it starts with this. First we'll ask them to enter the username or equivalent to the username. Right? Maybe they'll enter mobile number, they will enter like maybe credit card number, or they will show their face. Right? These are like initial steps, which is like user identification. Who is that user? Right? Second thing is credential verification. Right? After verifying, okay, this is some user. Now we need to identify whether only he is coming or somebody else coming with this identity. Right? We need to validate their credentials, what is pre-stored while registration, if it is a password, and we need to validate with that, and we need to let them in. The next step is, the organization requires they can enable a MFA, which means in addition to this credential validation, they need to do the MFA, which is like multi-factor authentication, right? It may be like sending simple verification code to the email or SMS, right? Or sending push notification, or going to the advanced, we can enable a face, voice, and then any biometric system to log, right? And also the authentication protocols, right?
Yeah.
So the IDAM solutions, right? So we give a very standard way to authenticate a user, right? So we support XAML, we support LDAP, we support OAuth2, we support OpenID Connect, we support the modern protocols like WebAuthn and other stuffs. Okay, so this ensures the authentication happening in a right way, and it is interoperable with other system, right? And coming to the next step, like the authorization, right? So as I told you, we have a various way to control the authorization, right? Which means the authentication asks who you are. Authorization checks what he can do with that login, right? What all he can do basically, right? If it's a manager, where you can set and what all his roles and responsibilities, right? These are the things covers in the authorization. So we have a role-based access control, RBAC, and attribute-based access control, ABAC, and then we have a privileged access control, right?
Okay.
This combination of this, right, we can give a right authorization to the user.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes, sure. So we've seen how it is accomplishing these efforts. Got it. So moving on, I would just like to shift our focus on regulatory compliance for regulations like GDPR or HIPAA, that's HIPAA.
Yeah. Yes. So if you talk about GDPR or HIPAA or any such compliance, right, they talk about the data privacy and data security, right? So since like IDAM deals with like identity, right, identity information, we are securing each field we are collecting from the customer.
Yeah.
Okay. Also with their consent. So we have a enhanced consent management system. What that does is, while register itself or before getting any data from customer, we'll ask you or we will inform you, because these are the reason we are collecting this information from you. For example, if you are collecting email from you, we will let customer know these are the information we needed from you, right? And what purpose and how long we will keep that data with us. That is really important. See, as a GDPR or other compliance, right? As a user, I can define whether the external system can keep my data or not. Like that is my basic right in the GDPR, right? So which means, suppose if I allow the system to take my email and for a 1 year, the system need to erase after 1 year or get a reconfirmation from the user. So if you want to manage this for every user by your own, that will be big headache. So IDAM solutions, right? The Skillmine Auth, we support this as a first class citizen, which means whenever you're signing in, we know, sign up, we will ask, okay, these are the information needed, and we will show these are the purpose, and we will keep it for this much time duration. After that, we will try to get you the new consent, and we will continue the process. If without consent, we are not storing your data in our system.
Yes. Sure,
right.
Sure.
Yeah. Obviously, then auditing reports and then other things like I explained before, like you know what happened exactly with our system.
Sure.
So with that, right, whatever the way HIPAA or like GDPR ask, right, you can generate a report with that.
Yes. Thank you so much. This really helped us get more information on all the compliance regulations. So coming forward, we will come to how you can explain us in like how IDAM streamlines user provisioning and deprovisioning. So let's also address the challenges that we face while implementing IDAM.
Yes. So this is the very common problem with all system administrator faces. Typically, every organization have like 15 to 30 different applications. Suppose new employee joins, they need to enroll in each system, right? Typically. So this will create like so much like a burden to the administrator. If they are writing script and other things, that will take care in some extent, but they need to write it still. They need to write like a number of applications and then script. Then they need to maintain that, right? Suppose the target system changes this protocol or like API things, they need to accept. They need to change it here also, right? So if you're using IDAM, this will become a only one, which is like only once you are provisioning or you are let user register. With that information, it is shared across all the information, even though if new system adding to your system that knows already what is going on in our system.
Correct.
Right. With that, IDAM is a centralized user management solution, right? So which means IDAM is a single place, and any system comes in, right? They will make use of this IDAM, and then they will get what information they needed.
Yes.
Right. See, while getting this information also, as I told you, like the previous example, user is getting one pass, and with that pass, he's navigating between buildings, right? What if one building is allowed only for like certain people, and it's not allowed for the employee? So these are controlled by roles and permissions as a user level, and also it is controlled with scopes and claims. So scopes defines, okay, so it's okay, you have a pass and it is accepted by building A and B, but building C requires a different scope and different attributes in it, right?
Correct.
And also the fields wise, right? I'm collecting like first name, last name, and other things, right? So any system wanted user information from our side, that needs to be predefined.
Yes.
So let's assume I'm collecting like 50 fields, 50 different information from customer. I can't give all 50 information to all the applications, right? So since I told you like I'm a centralized, IDAM is a centralized application, right? So anybody can request information from IDAM, right?
Yes.
That doesn't mean that IDAM will give all the information. It have a very well defined scopes and claims. Scopes control set of fields. Let's assume if I want to have a email scope, then IDAM releases email and whether the email is verified or not. Let's talk about claims. The claims talk about individual field. Each claim pointed to the individual field in our system. See, for example, first name is clubbed with one claim. If you have a first name claim, then only you can access the first name field. Otherwise, we won't give you that data.
Correct.
So it was like very much controlled. So how you will get that scope? You need to pre-register with us, which means that itself gone through like verification. See, for example, new system or let's assume with the new HR management system or our system, right? Before onboarding them, we will verify what are the information we needed to give to that particular system and what are the information it is accessing and where it stores. Right?
Yes.
So with that, right, so we will give information. Okay, so this requires like first name, last name, and email access. We'll give only that, not the other details. Yeah. So this user provisioning covers all these things. Like while onboarding itself, we know all this information. So obviously, like with the user provisioning, right? So since this is protocol and we have a full API support, you can automate this step. So you just need to add it in one place. The user is onboarded in various systems you have. But let's assume you are onboarding the user of the AD. That's it. We will take it from there and it will be provisioned all other places. So similarly, deprovisioning also very easy. You just need to deactivate. If suppose you like to deactivate or delete users, you just need to do it in one place. Yeah.
Got it. So, sir, these are. Can you also outline the common challenges faced?
Yeah. So obviously, so we talk with many organizations, right? So the first thing is they will ask how complex this task is.
Yes.
Because they have already legacy system, right? That may or may not support our protocols, right? And then they need to train their user, right? How to use the new system, right? So that's why IDAM, right? We have a very simple way of like onboarding one system to other system, which means you have any system before, meaning you are in a classical legacy system, right? Or you have your own the system is implemented in your place. No problem. We will give a SDK. So as an IDAM, right, as a Skillmine auth, we gone through like many iterations of this. Based on our experience, right, we came up with a very simple approach to tackle this. So we have a SDKs, we have a documentations, we have a API support, we have a various levels of support to tackle this with easy steps. Right? So the main challenge is like complex implementations, right? So whether your system is having a modern protocol or old protocol, we will take care of it. So your system need to falls under one of these category, whether it needs to support OpenID Connect or WAUth2 or XAML or plain REST API. We will adapt to our system. So I can share one of the previous customer experience. Meaning they came to us to integrate to the new system, but they don't have any modern protocol support. They had a very old legacy thick client. So what we did is we sent our people to their company and we sit with them. We talked with them and we identified what are the problems they are facing right now with their core system. And we given a custom solution to migrate this to our system, right?
Yes.
So this helps them a lot, and they are live now. So like this, right? So there is no common solution for all, but obviously we have we are as a skill miners, right? We can tackle this.
Great. That's what we need, solutions basically to tackle all the common challenges that companies face. So, Vimal, can you please let us know the consequences of following ineffective IDAM practices and what are the potential repercussions of this?
Yes, there are many. So it's like literally you are like holding gun on your side, right?
Yeah.
So on the wrong side, yeah. So which means like whatever I said as like advantages before, right? That will become a disadvantage. If you don't have a right IDAM solution in your organization, it will, what I said before is like it will increase your productivity, it will increase user experience, right? It will give you great compliance, it will give you great auditing and compliance support, right? This all will go off. So basically it do like increased security risk, right? That's a first thing, right? And then non-compliance, obviously, if something missed or mishandled or or it's wrongly implemented, it'll give you non-compliance. Then you have to sit and work on that. And then inefficient access management, right?
Yes.
See, if IDAM is not implemented correctly, suppose you like to remove some access for the employee, but if it's not removed, what happened? So even if he quit, he can still access your system, right? And lack of visibility. You don't know what is going on in the system if it is wrongly implemented, right? The poor experience and operational inefficiencies. Again, you will get a lot of calls.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that like defeats the whole purpose. Yeah.
Okay. So these are all the consequences that we just saw that emphasize the importance of having effective IDAM practices.
Yeah.
Now let us discuss the factors organizations should consider when selecting IDAM solutions. Vimal, what are the key factors that they should generally keep in mind?
Security, security, security.
Okay.
So the organization who concern about their security, they should go for this IDAM. But not only security, there are some other factors also, like scalability and flexibility, integration capability. See, for example, we said like we can integrate with various systems, right? Let's assume in future some other protocol comes in, right? As an IDAM, we will take care that for you, right?
Yes.
Let's assume, let's see, the evaluation happened like this. First, we used username and password.
Yes.
Then we used like only like entering email or mobile number, and then you'll get OTP, and then you're entering it, right?
Correct.
And then we move to like social login, like login with Facebook, login with Twitter, login with so and so, right? before these, like there is a AD login, there is a LDAP login. So this field is emerging like anything. Like now, like suppose if you're logging into your mobile banking, you're just doing your fingerprint or your face verification, it goes in, right?
Yes.
So this area is the way the customer is authenticated is changing a lot, right? So as an IDAM, we will keep an eye on it, and whatever it's the best practices, right? Whatever is best for the organization, we will bring it. So as an organization, you don't need to worry for that. So whom concerned about the future, what comes next, right?
Yeah.
They should consider IDAM, right?
Oh.
And then obviously who expect better user experience, compliance, and the ease of administration, right? They should consider this one. See, mainly it reduces the TOC, which is like total cost of ownership. Right? It is simple, like managing 10 systems versus managing one system. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So, Vimal, we saw the consequences and we saw the effective measures that companies should consider while selecting IDAM solutions. We are now going through a digital era. So we are having so much of emerging trends and technologies in this field. Are there any notable advancements that you would like to highlight and talk about to our audience?
Yes. So this field, like I said in the past, this field is emerging like anything, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Username, password, passwordless, like fingerprint authentication, face verification, voice verification, and then web opt-in, right? And then security keys. Nowadays, it increases a lot. So we follow like it's called zero trust authentication.
Okay.
Or zero trust architecture, basically, which means we doubt everybody and anything. Like we doubt the user or employee. We doubt the devices what they are using it. It may be mobile, it may be laptop, right? We doubt everything. So which means any entity comes into a system needs to be validated properly, right? So as an IDAM, right, we have a solution to control that. Anything comes in, even though we give a like a pass, right? That pass is validated with various various ways. It may be, see, I'll give you one example. Let's assume you normally log in with the MacBook Pro.
Okay.
Suddenly, if you log in with Windows, something wrong.
Correct.
Right? I'm saying this is very simple example, right? And then suppose normally we detect you log in from Wi-Fi with 1 Mbps speed or 100 Mbps speed. Suddenly, if you log in with like various speed, like for example, suddenly speed drops or speed increases, something wrong, right?
Yes.
Normally, another example is normally you log in from Bangalore, right? Suppose you log in suddenly, if you log in from Mumbai or outside India, we know something wrong, right?
Correct.
Or combination of this. Let's assume normally I log in the work hours, right? I log in from my office, which means the office lat long, right?
Yeah.
The weekends, maybe some special occasion, I log in from my home. So that lat long is different, right? So we will analyze these timings and which place you are logging in, right? And we will do a check and balance. See, for example, if we detect any anomaly in this, we will go for a MFA.
Okay.
So this is like zero trust architecture, which means we need to doubt all the factors. Okay. And also, so next thing is like as I said, like passwordless authentication, adaptive, like role-based logins, like scope-based logins, right? And then nowadays the emerging is blockchain-based logins, right? And then see, before all big organizations, they kept everything in their organization itself, right?
Yes.
Nowadays the cloud-based authentications, right? That is emerging more. So everything they are moving to cloud, so which means it's easy to maintain. Yeah.
Sure. So these are all the advancements that we are seeing in the solution of
IDAM. So main advancement, right? So the points what I mentioned.
Yes.
It's all taken over by AI and ML.
Wow. Yes, it's how the world is progressing towards artificial intelligence and machine learning. Yes.
Yes. So for I said like we detect user behavior, right? It's not Vimal sitting and predicting it. Like it's my algorithm is predicting. It's my AI model is predicting whether this is valid login or not.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So our job is to feed a lot of these factors to the our AI ML model, and that will take care for us.
Yes, definitely. It is the advancements are such that a lot of things are taken care with a single like just for example a single access as well. Yeah. So thank you for these valuable insights on technology advancements. But how can organizations maintain a balance between user experience and security? Isn't that very important?
Yes, actually, one of the problem we face is this. For example, if you increase a lot of security, let's assume like if you want to log into one system and it asks like 2-3 MFA things, user will get fed up. They'll say like, boss, what happened? Like every time I need to go through this. That's why, as an IDAM solution, right, you have to implement the single sign-on.
Correct.
Right, that improves the like user experience like anything, because you don't need to go through the same steps again and again. Yes. And then enable multi-factor authentication, which is easier for the user.
Correct.
Right. For example, this TOTP. Right. It not depend on any carrier, which is like they don't need to wait for a signal to receive a OTP. They don't need to connect like special device to do that. They just need their mobile device, and the DOTP will take care of it. Right.
Yes.
And enable a simple authentication process. Right. So, for example, the user onboarding itself, right? You need to make it very easier. Say, for example, giving a user with like a 50 fields of forms, user won't entertain that. So instead, we can make use of the social logins. right?
Got it.
Which means I'm going to the registration page. I'm just clicking okay, boss, log in with or sign up with the Facebook. I'm done. I don't need to fill like long form, right?
Yes. Oh, the earlier times we used to fill such long forms and then information never got saved also. So we had to keep typing in case the page crashed or something like that happened.
Yeah. So that slowly, right? So giving more fields, right? That will user will feel very bad. So we can give like
Yes.
an alternative way to capture the field,
Yes.
right? So and then user friendly access control, right? I should be able to navigate between the pages or navigate between the applications without any hassle. And then personalized and self-service control. See, for example, I want to reset my password. I should not call my organization to do that. I should be able to do it myself. So that
Yes.
it's easy for me. I can do it at any time. Right?
Yes.
And then obviously educate the employees. Okay, this is how it works and other things. So with various documentation, other things. Yeah. And then yeah, these are the things you have to maintain between
Balance.
user experience,
Yes.
security. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you. So I got the way we are having to balance between user experience and security. So we are coming to the conclusion of this session, but we would definitely want to know how Skillmine is, going towards future advancements in their technology and innovation, and how it is going to support identity access management for our, key clients and future prospects that would, we would be implementing for them this solution.
Yeah, sure. So as you know, like we have a Skillmine authenticator, right?
Yes.
That solves like whatever I explained right now, and it supports
Yes.
all the like protocols, the user what is that, user workflows and other stuffs.
Yes.
So to improve this, right? As I told you, this product is like a antivirus, which means
yes.
every day there is new virus, and every day there is new antivirus update. It's similar to that. So which means the hackers are like the way the identities are compromised. It is day by day it is increasing. So we as a IDAM solution, right?
Yes.
We are keep closely monitoring that, and we are improving our system day by day, right?
Correct.
So we created a software factory which is dedicated with a AI ML team.
Yes.
They are enhancing this product further, right? Right from the behavior, like behavioral based login, right? Single legged authentications, like as I told you, like first you need to enter the username and then you have to go for MFA. So we are working on the single legged authentication, which means you just need to show your face. That's it. You're in. You don't need to type anything, right?
Correct.
And these are the areas we are working on it. Yeah. So obviously, like feature is AI. So we are in the AI process. Yes.
Yes. Skillmine supports such advancements at year on year, and we have seen the results. Definitely. So thank you, Vimal. This webinar has been really insightful with your experiences and expertise. It has been absolute pleasure having you here. And in conclusion, from everything that we have seen in the session, we know that identity, access, and security in the context of enabling governance in digital era, we got to see a lot of light shed on this topic, especially the crucial importance of managing identities, control access, and also implementing robust security measures.
Yeah.
So let us stay informed and proactive in this rapidly changing landscape.
Yes.
And organizations definitely must navigate themselves with the challenges and ensure that they secure their digital environment. So thank you so much, Vimal. This session has been really helpful. I'm sure the audience have a lot of key takeaways from here, and they can definitely implement IDAM solution in a much better way in their organizations. So This is me, Amruta, signing off for today. And I would like to thank all the participants for joining us today. And we hope that you look forward to such more webinars with us, and we will be back with more engaging content. Thank you. And if you have
Thank you.
any further questions, you can drop them in the comment section below, and one of our representatives will